now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello.
That was so jarring to me. I was like, hello.
Guys, we'd been like pretty like quiet. It's early morning, and then I just turned it straight on full blast. I shocked
You
Stephanie.
were kind of yodeling a little bit.
I was like,
you watch that? If you watch on YouTube, you're gonna watch me like.
You're gonna see an absolute shock face. Welcome, you guys. This is the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Chase,
And I'm Stephanie.
and we are excited this week to bring you some advice to randos in the news, which is the best kind of advice to give.
Guess what? I remembered. I have tea about celebrities.
Wait, okay, that's what the show's for.
I know, but we don't have a
spill.
story about them. I should have thought about this. Okay, so I went to a child's birthday party last night.
Okay.
And it was actually for like the cutest child I know, Emma.
Okay.
My cousin Becca's child. Like literally every time I see her, I'm like, oh, baby fever. Is that you?
Agreed. She actually is so cute. I've never met her, but I've just seen her on social. Good work, Becca.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Yeah, you guys should make more.
Yeah.
Went to her party last night, and my cousin Raquel lives in California. She works at an art studio.
Cool.
In Agora Hills, which is
She's the one that does
Pottery.
Yeah. Amazing.
yes, rooted pottery and
Okay.
gorgeous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she works at an art studio, and at the art studio they do private classes.
Okay.
We're about 2 hours into the party, and she's like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you something. The Kardashian kids came in and did an art class
I'm sorry, what?
that she taught. And I said,
Raquel, right? That's her name?
Raquel.
Raquel, that is, people are coming through the door news, not 2
Yeah,
hours
that's
into Emma's party
literally
news.
what I said. I said, the second I walked in the door, you should have told me this information.
100%. Okay, wait. So were the Kardashians there or just the kids and the handlers?
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, give us the deets.
Kids, Dream, Stormy, and True were there. And I said, Stormy, baby, you look like mommy. And she was like, I don't know that reference. And I was like,
Not deserve I hate when
I'm gonna
good
freak
things
out.
happen
I'm
to
gonna freak out.
undeserving people.
Yeah. But of course, she was totally chill in the moment.
Right.
I would have been like,
Yeah, it probably helped that she didn't know who they
Yeah.
were because you and me.
Yeah, I would have
baby.
I would've been like,
mommy.
hey, Stormy.
Yeah, Stormy. That's right.
Okay, here's the information. They each have a nanny and a bodyguard
Okay.
per child.
Obsessed.
One, like Stormy, she's like the Regina George, but like,
Actually on brand.
but Dream is like the Gretchen Wieners. Like she's actually like kind of cool, and like
Okay.
she's the one setting the trends, but Regina, like Stormy's the mean one.
Okay.
Like Dream would pick out something and Stormy would be like, I want to do that, but like act like it was her idea.
Got it.
And I was like, that. Also, Stormy calls her mom Kylie, which I call my mom Molly. Like, it's not that weird to me, except that she's like 5.
We were never allowed to call our parents by their first name growing up.
Well, I was the youngest.
So you had an absolute different set of rules.
I had a
we
different
should
set
ask
of rules.
Alex and Jess. Shout out Alex and
See,
Jess.
I don't think my parents ever were like, you have to call me dad. Maybe Kevin was. But like,
If you got
Schmevin,
mad at your mom or if you were upset and you were like, listen, Molly.
Oh, I would have
You would have
never.
been slapped from here to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would have.
Rightfully so.
I would have never said Molly when I was mad at her. But like, she stopped responding to mom. Like, she was like, I'm tired of having children.
That's true. Every now and then we'd say Lizbeth from my mom
Mm-hmm.
to like try to get her attention.
And I remember the first time I did it too. We were in a Robert's craft store.
Flashback.
and she was
Are
down-
those even around?
I don't
No,
think
those
so.
are closed, yeah.
She was like down a separate aisle because I was, busy looking at the stickers at the papers. I was a crafty queen. And I couldn't find her. And I was like, Mom. And then I saw her walking by and I was like, Molly. And she like turned. I was like, well, I guess that's what we're doing now. Anyway, Stormy calls her mom Kylie. She's
Okay.
like, I'm going to make this for Kylie. And then Dream was like, oh, I painted this K for Kylie too. I was like, oh, she's the cutest.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
True was just like a cute little
Button of a
thing,
human.
just button, just like quiet, but like was just happy to be there. And there also was a LA Rams player there who had twins.
Cute.
And then also these 2 gay dads who had their kids there that like they all went to the same school. And I was like, knowing you, Raquel, that you waited all of this time to tell me this story. Was it Neil Patrick Harris?
Yeah, literally.
She's like, no, I would recognize him. I'm like, would you?
Oh, really?
Would you? Because if the Kardashian children walked in this store right now, I could name every one of them.
I could say what each of them got for their Easter basket. It's not a healthy relationship we have with those children. But if you ever need anything, if you ever need a godparent, us. Like normal, sane godparents. We're not like crazy Patti LaBelle status godparent where you just like have all these godchildren. We would be like super sane. We actually offer nothing to them.
Yeah.
But we would still be really fun.
I thought it was fascinating. I immediately started like texting my work group chat of like my friends from work.
Right.
And they're like, how did you get this random information? I'm like, I know. And Raquel was literally like, I didn't even know who they were.
Raquel,
like,
honey, baby, I hope you're listening
you.
to this. We are going to give you a little Kardashian.
I know. We have to build
her a
do
like celebrity babies. Because if that's something, if she's like becoming a hot spot in LA for these sorts of, or Orange County or wherever it is, for these sorts of events, we got to tell her like who's who. So she knows who could be coming.
Well, remember when like Kim had a phase where she was showing like Northwest artwork and it was like looked professionally done and she was like, North painted this. We were like
right. Just like when someone posts on social media and they're like, my little Rebecca came up and said, it's not the number of years in your life, but the number of life in your years. And you're like, she didn't say that. You're not fooling anyone. Your kid licks paint.
Yeah.
Like she's not tripping out and having some sort of like existential
whatever that word is.
Moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, when she
delusion.
told me,
Parental delusion. I live for parental delusion. It's like when people think their kids are good looking, they're not.
Yeah.
Or when people think that their kids are like great and well behaved and everyone likes being around them. But it turns out that they're actually just savage monsters who will destroy everything in their path. You have delusion parents and I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I don't want them in my house ever. No. But I love them from a distance.
And okay, to be fair, we're separating that from like your child is having a random tantrum and they're acting out.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about that as a parent.
Yeah.
But like when your kids are cray and you are constantly
and chaos, you're just like doo 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 because it's been normalized. Like you walk in and the decibels in someone's house, it's just like shattering glass and you're like, ooh, and they're like, anyways, what would you like to drink? What liquor do you have available? Because I'm gonna need half a bottle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, she told me that information and I literally went, Cal! Because I was so mad that she didn't tell me immediately. And she's like, well, I called Brian after and he wasn't even that interested. And I'm like, wrong audience.
Yeah. No,
don't call your husband. You should have called me.
Yes.
I have a pop culture podcast.
Hello.
So anyway, that's
speaking
like
of, how was your family for Thanksgiving? How were the Thanksgiving plans? Give us the highlight.
Oh, it was just the 3 of us, me, Traven, and Bailey. We did a Gourmandy's like take and bake. And I made my own like Trader Joe's turkey in a crock pot. It was fine. Again, I'm not a fan of turkey very much. But the Gourmandy's take and bake was so yummy. So I was so happy with that. Made my own gravy and I was like, oh.
What are you, Martha Stewart?
Am I a chef?
Hey, Food Network.
Should I have a food podcast? Should I become a foodie?
We talked about that last week on account of the ice cream challenge from hell.
Oh my gosh, I got so many people.
So many. That video popped off on social media. I think we're like almost at 40,000 views.
And of course, everyone's favorite part is when you call me
a bitch for betraying me. Actually, thank you for bringing that up. I'd like to address that now. We actually haven't talked about it. We just like kind of giggled about it. Shame on you. Mm-hmm. The next time you bring anything to me to try disgusting, you're putting it in your mouth first. I'm watching you eat all of it. And then I'm just going to do this.
Wait,
little teeny.
Speaking of, we tried the chip challenge as well.
Same.
I got Chase some like Asian market chips that are very weird random flavors.
Yes.
We tried them this weekend. Some of them so bad.
horrific. Charcoal.
The charcoal one?
The charcoal. So we did this with my family as well. I put like little game cards together and they had to try to guess the flavor. So I wrapped the chips and the ice cream.
You did it cuter than we did.
So that way I was like, hey, everyone, and everyone had their chip and I was like, okay, we'll eat it. And I didn't because I'm not an idiot. And I did it once on a podcast and 40,000 people have seen me being like, I'm going to die. And it was actually really cute. There were a bunch of other people that ended up tagging us in videos where they were doing the same challenge with the pickle ice cream. So like worth it. But I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then people ate the charcoal and I didn't even really realize what the flavor was because you had to look like on the back, a barcode in English. Said,
it tastes like I just licked a grill. And I was like, that is the most accurate.
So did you know it was charcoal before trying it?
I thought it was short rib.
I thought I did. I thought it was too. And then people were like,
yeah, that was the worst one. Bailey like immediately was like, and walked to the trash can. The weirdest one was the sushi. That one.
I didn't have that one.
Oh my gosh. It was in the like, it looked like a Pringle. Mm-hmm. It fully tasted like a full sushi roll in your mouth.
Whoa, crazy.
But it like had that kind of lingering fishy flavor. And I was like, this is weird. It was so weird. I was like, if you close my mind, this is gastronomy. This is like 5-star chef. Was like, it's a sushi.
Just you in your kitchen.
Chip. Like, I was like, scientist graded this.
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, food. That's what was my Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was a dumpster fire. I mean, we could put a sing-song dance on it. Here's what I'll say, because I don't want to start drama in my family.
Or do we?
But here's what I'll say. Shout out to the moms who are busting their asses to make holidays nice for everyone in the family. And shame on all of the children who decide to not reciprocate to the mom.
Yeah.
I watched my mom try so unbelievably hard this past week, planning activities, and she did all of Thanksgiving minus 2 sides that we brought. So much work went into it. She had custom mugs made with our names, like they were glass mugs with our names etched into them that said like sweater weather on it with hot chocolate and Mrs. Kavanaugh's chocolates. Like, went above and beyond.
Ugh.
And I'm just so sad at the dumpster fire that was our Thanksgiving dinner. I don't want to put like everybody on blast, but it just was so shocking to me how certain people can walk. Like, we were all raised in the same house, and then you can have like, you turned into 4 totally different adults. People. And I was just really sad that there wasn't a lot of effort being made to make it like a good Thanksgiving for my parents as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that like we sometimes culturally, like we just dump on moms. We just think like because they love us so much, it's unconditional, we can get away with doing anything. This one goes out to the moms. Like, thank you for trying so damn hard to make a holiday nice. I mean, to be coordinating the meal weeks in advance, getting the groceries.
The fact that you guys can even get all of the things on the table still warm.
Yeah.
Like, you're mathematicians. Yeah. We're doing calculus to figure out how to time everything correctly.
Yeah.
To get out on the counter warm. Yeah. That in and of itself, a feat.
And my mom's an incredible cook. She makes this gravy that's like to die for, the mashed potatoes. I mean, it was a full spread, covered the entire counter of food. Although I will say, the winter salad we brought, huge hit.
I'm sure. He's like, everybody loved my winter salad. I said, send me a picture of the empty bowl. Send me a picture of the empty bowl. You know what he didn't? Send me a picture of the empty bowl.
You know why? Because I was holding my family together. So I had like other things on my mind.
Busy dumping the salad on somebody's head.
Literally. But I candied pecans. I pickled red onions. I had garlic bacon. Like, it was a solid salad. I made my homemade apple cider vinaigrette. That was like delicious. It was honestly, there was one of my nibblings went and had thirds of my salad. He's 11.
Sure.
So, or 10, 11, something like that.
It is kind of weird when
Carissa, I want you to, if you're listening, which if you are, sorry for what I said about the family. The people that I just don't think everyone's actually going to be listening to this in my family. I've lost any sort of Like, I know that there's certain people, my twin sister, obviously, Chelsea, I adore you because I know she listens all the time.
Love you, Chelsea.
And my mom, I know she listens. But the other rest of my family, I think they watch it on Social Cut. So we just won't make this a Social Cut, and then we'll never know. But Krista, if you are watching or hearing or listening to this, and all my Midwest moms who also know her, shout her out or call her out, you better comment on the reel when we talk about the salad and testify that your son Emmett had thirds of my salad. I want to witness. It's honest. I'm not coaching you, but do it or you're out forever.
Sure, that sounded a little bit like
a little
a
forced. But it was honestly,
like a threat.
It was really fun with my kids here. We did Thanksgiving and Christmas together.
Fun.
So we set up Christmas on Saturday night and then did Sunday morning Christmas, which was really fun. Speaking of Christmas, we got this Christmas tree, so we changed the decor. We're very excited. We're fully festive. Yes,
just wait till you see the Social Cuts.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I walked in this morning and there was music blaring, and Chase is like, "I got a tree."
Fully in like my most gay elf era of just like, dink dink dink. I went with a pastel palette. Woohoo!
It's cute.
And so she was like, "Got it." Schlups in. Anyway, so we did Thanksgiving, we did Christmas, and then Stevens Gentry performed 5 shows at Eccles. And amazing. Incredible. One of their songs, Coventry Carol, it's like a mashup Coventry Carol, and I forget what the other name is. Anyways, it's kind of like, I should get the thing out. Actually, I could play a little bit of it. I'm going to try to figure it out because you have to tell me what song it kind of sounds like that we did not learn about until someone pointed it out. And then I was like, oh my gosh, you completely lifted this from a very not Gentry type of
interesting
artist. Okay, so let me figure out
while you're looking that up, Thanksgiving content plate.
Yes.
We watched Klaus, and
one of my favorite Christmas
found out
movies.
Yesterday somebody that hasn't seen that, and I'm like, go watch it right now.
Agreed.
Literally leave work and
it's on
watch
Netflix, you guys.
It's on Netflix original. It is probably my favorite Christmas movie.
Same. It's Stevens like in his top 1 or 2.
It's so amazing. If you have not seen it, go watch it. I can't even describe it.
Yeah, to me, it's a masterclass in storytelling. It's animated, but it doesn't it doesn't feel junior at all.
Nope.
It has magic and a little like intrigue, but also just the storytelling I think is top drawer.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes, on my content plate, we did the first 5 episodes of the Squid Game Challenge. Excellent TV.
I can't wait to watch.
Excellent TV. The concept, though, of it being Squid Games where they were murdered is a little sad because it's like, oh, okay, well, we're just voting out the gate and then out of the game. And then it's like, oh, but in the movie, they were
murdered.
Dead. That was sad, but the show is amazing. Much better than Surviving Paradise, also on Netflix. That one is a solid -5, but we watched all of it.
Did you watch Squid Games with your kids? Could we watch it with Bailey?
No, because it's language.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Totally fine.
I think it's MA for language. It's super, super dramatic.
Did you watch Physical 100?
Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh, Traven and I were obsessed.
Yeah, same. So was Steven, actually. He got me into it.
Yeah, because of Sexy Yama.
100%.
There was some very good-looking,
beautiful bodies
people on that show.
Yes. Oh, speaking of bodies, the TV show Bodies we started on Netflix as well. A concept of the same murder taking place like in the 1920s, 1940s, 2023, and 2053, and detectives trying to sort out what happened to the same body. Actually, we're a couple episodes, and I think we're on episode 3 or 4. Really, really, really well done.
Ooh, interesting concept. That if you are going to kill somebody, you should have it match a serial killer's pattern.
Yes.
So you don't get blamed for it.
That's really, really common, actually.
Oh, okay.
You're just learning like one of the huge tropes in murder mystery is copycat
don't
killers.
Listen to any of those like podcasts, any crime podcasts. I'm too anxious.
I don't listen to crime podcasts, but I do listen to murder mysteries because that's a little different.
So funny. I'm like, Oh my gosh, what a
like,
novel concept. You're like,
I have an idea.
That's literally a trope.
Like, that's literally the leading trope amongst like murder mysteries or copycat killers.
I'm like, innovative. You're like, no.
So sweet angel baby. She's like, wait, it's like the one time I thought I invented the slotted spoon. And I was like, Mom, it's like a spoon, but it has lines in it so stuff can drip out. My mom marches to the sink or the counter. She's like this. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Somebody invented that?
I can't believe it.
I was going to put a patent on it.
Fully. Actually, when we were in the 5th grade, we had to do like a entrepreneurial fair or like an invention fair. Did you have to do something similar? And I invented bags for crutches. So like if you needed to carry something but your arms were with crutches, they were like a thing that could hold stuff.
It's like a
and then
Subway sandwich bag but elongated.
So I'm thinking to myself like, oh, I nailed this, like it'll wrap around the handle, it'll be so great. And then the teacher was like, oh yeah, okay, really interesting, why wouldn't they just use a backpack? And I was like, what?
You're like,
what?
This
So
one's
I did
longer,
not
though.
do well. That was my failed invention. I didn't. I haven't invented anything since. Thanks, Mrs. Barnes, killing my dream.
I'll never get on Shark Tank now.
Yeah, I'll never get on Shark Tank. Ooh,
Story
coming up.
about Shark Tank.
Okay, the other show that I watched, it's on Peacock. It's a movie, Melissa McCarthy's Genie. So it's streaming for free.
I've been excited to watch that.
It is really, really cute. I know
friendly?
it's not getting what?
Kid
totally friendly.
Okay.
PG. I watched it with my kids. I know it's not. I don't think Melissa McCarthy honestly gets a fair shake when it comes to
No, because people
ratings.
Which is so stupid because like an Adam Sandler movie has like the same stupid, silly humor that she does. Women in comedy need to be appreciated.
Agreed.
Appreciate me.
But so she the self-serving. She's like, you know what we really need? Female budding podcasters need to get
Female comics need to be appreciated.
Okay, wait, so here's the song. Let me see if this works.
From Gentry.
Okay, wait.
I'm just going over home.
Okay, ready for me to sing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to here.
I'm just going over home.
I'll take you to the candy shop. I'm afternoon what you want.
Steven! Steven, I didn't know 50 Cent inspired you.
Literally, we're listening to it, and the Rise Up Children choirs in the backstage, and they posted this video of them backstage when that song is being played, and they're like getting into it. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm like, wait.
Why are they?
And I said to Steve, I'm like, oh my gosh, babe, that sounds, this is Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what that song sounds like? And he's like, what? I'm like, Candy Shop. And he's like, I don't even know that song. And he probably thought it was like a barber shop something. And I was like, Sweet Angel Baby, I think it's this. And then I played Candy Shop, which I won't play because in case someone wants for monetization
or whatever.
Yeah.
Gentry, you can't get money.
Yeah, Gentry.
In fact,
you owe me.
You should be sponsoring us.
Yeah, I've been tying your bow ties for a hot minute. This is my trade. That actually I would go during intermission backstage and tie their bow ties because I'm good at that. Anyway, isn't that so fun? So we had those shows.
Funny.
It was really, really busy. I'm glad that the holiday's over and we kind of get back to some normal, and then we get to just prep for Christmas.
Yep.
Which is really, really fun.
I've been prepped for Christmas.
I know. I'm now in the prep for
You're
Christmas
now
now because I put we're done with Thanksgiving, so we can fully prep.
I know I need to take my pumpkins down.
Yeah. I took them down off of here and I thought, we could put the little one with the mustache here, but nah.
We moved on to Christmas.
All right, advice of the week. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar. So this is saying you want someone to do what you want, be nice to them, than being mean to them.
Here's the thing, though. When you are catching a fruit fly, you do a honey vinegar mix. So I'm just saying you're allowed to be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I get that.
Please be nice and please be kind to people. But if you are trying to catch fruit flies, which are annoying and they're natty and they come out of nowhere and you're like, why are you up in my business all the time? I keep trying to get rid of you. You're allowed to be a little bit forceful.
Yeah, I think
in how
it's
you're
okay.
feeling with a little bit of vinegar.
I think it's okay to start with a little honey. to be like, let's see if honey works.
Yeah.
I'll give you the benefit of the honey doubt.
Yeah.
And then if you
honeybee.
decide to be some sort of honey bitch and you're like not interested, then guess what I have a giant helping of? Vinegar. Yeah, fully. Double bird you. That's what I have to say.
I remembered that I was being recorded.
I
was like,
she just flashed a thing. Oh, speaking of, we have a Christmas gift. Should we tell them what our Christmas gift for everybody is? We decided on a Christmas gift yesterday.
What do you mean?
Oh no, honey. I wrote you. You'll remember.
Oh, I remember.
We have a Christmas gift for you. Now,
it's not for Molly.
It's
not for my mom.
Yeah, we need a little backstory.
Or for my sweet cousin Morgan. Please don't listen
so
to that one.
we are doing our best. To keep language clean.
Yeah, at least during this hour.
Oh, yeah, that's literally all I'm talking about.
But I did tell the F-bomb story on the podcast.
That's
Molly was
true.
not happy. But during the rest of the hour.
But Molly, we love you. But our gift to everybody, because I've had a couple of people say, gosh, I just wish you would do a fully explicit episode where you just let it fly.
Yeah.
And we consolidate and we kind of do like a purge, like a swear purge. And so we, between the week of Christmas and New Year's.
Maybe we do all of the stories that made us super mad this year.
Yes, that's what we'll do. So we're going to do a bonus episode. We decided as a gift to everybody, our bonus episode this month will be sometime between the week of Christmas and New Year. Mm-hmm. We'll do a recap of our 5 most effing frustrating stories, and you gonna hear it fly. So that would be one that you're just putting your AirPods in.
Yeah.
You're going to see the creativity with the curse. Yeah, this isn't, you're not on the way to church.
No.
This is, you're on the way to hell. Mm-hmm. And we're welcoming you. It's the anthem. So we're really excited. We're going to be doing our one and only, our probably once a year swear purge episode between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I realized how needed that was because last night we were at dinner with the Shaws and I know how to just string some swears together to make a point, and they were laughing so hard. And then I was like,
I only swear for comedy.
Not me.
That's actually what my mom told me the first time I heard her swear, because it made me laugh so hard. She called probably a girl that was being mean to me a bitch.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, but then I started laughing so hard because it's so funny to hear your parents swear.
Yeah.
And she was like, I only swear for comedy.
My mom doesn't love swearing. She doesn't love like heavy swear words. Like she doesn't love the F word. She doesn't love other words. And so I will apologize to both of our moms.
Just skip that episode.
Yeah, we're going to get you guys an actual gift that's really nice and beautiful and wonderful for the season. But for all of our podcast listeners, just understand that we're going to be giving you a gift of just like the explicit purge, the swear purge, which I love.
Perfect.
Okay, let's get into some of our episodes. And it's a good thing that we talked about bees and honey today because Beyonce. It's our week. We're going to go see the Renaissance show on Friday. I got us matching flawless sweatshirts.
As we should.
Flawless.
Oh, I'm
Which I'm really excited about.
She showed up to the premiere in like a blonde weave that was gorgina.
It was very... Literally. Steven is not going to love that expression on account of it sounds something foreign to him. And so I'm going to start using gorgina. I can't even say it. That should be saved for our swear purge.
Sorry.
But she looks
so
very
good.
Donatella Versace with that long, hyper blonde wig.
Yeah.
And there were major celebs at the premiere. Lizzo, Kelly Rowland.
Tan France.
Was he?
I guess he's more, do you think he's A-list now?
Oh, no, I think he's barely C.
Oh, C?
Honey, A-list is like
yeah, but
Tom
he's like
Cruise.
Best friends with Gigi Hadid.
Yes.
I think he's
Gigi Hadid is still B-list to me. When I think of A-list.
Gigi Hadid is an A-list.
No way. I think of A-listers as like Sandra Bullock. Like these queens that'll stand the test.
If you're
Beyonce,
if you're
you think
worldwide,
Gigi Hadid and Beyonce are the same? In the same group?
Yeah.
No.
I think that
you think Gigi and
I think Gigi Hadid is an A- and Beyonce is an A+, but I think they're A's.
I will fight you on this. Here's my rule about
Where's Bradley Cooper?
A.
And Gigi Hadid is dating Bradley Cooper.
Right. She's elevating her game. She's trying to get to that A game. She's maybe B. B plus. I'll give you B plus.
No, she's A minus.
Okay, wrong. Here's the thing. A-listers, your grandparents have to know who an A-lister is. Your nieces and
Chase,
nephews have to know who an A-lister is.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
No. Does your grandparents know who Gigi Hadid is?
My grandparents don't know where their left foot is right now.
That's sorry.
How dare you?
Okay, I forgot one of them.
How dare you?
I forgot that.
You beast.
You beast. Okay, where would you put like Kyle Richards?
I think she's a C.
C. Where would you put
Kyle
Derek
Richards
Huff,
is a
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Where'd you put Derek Huff?
So I probably would, in the past, have put him C. But now that he's a judge on Dancing with the Stars,
B.
which apparently is like a renowned show after we made fun of it.
Literally, I've watched all season. Everybody
at my work was like, how dare you? I was like, oh, sorry. Didn't think.
Wait, Derek Huff is what, a B?
B, he's B now.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a
Julianne Hough, though, C.
Agreed. She rose and then fell. She rose with Ryan Seacrest. She tried to pull Gigi Hadid, get elevated with who you're dating, and then fall back to Grace.
Gigi Hadid is the top model in the world.
Yeah. I think the top model in the world is Naomi
Giselle
Campbell.
Bündchen?
A. Yeah, because she's been around for longer than 3 years.
Same. Oh, we're in a fight.
That's okay. I think Gigi Hadid is more because you're younger than me, so she seems more relevant for you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're old. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. A-listers to me is like old
when
Hollywood.
You said, do your grandparents
do you think
know?
Michael Jackson is A?
Yes. But
do you think Gigi Hadid is the same as Michael Jackson?
I'm telling you, she's in the same category.
I'm shook. Bella Hadid. Same?
No, because I hate Bella. No, she's A minus. So.
And then Kendall Jenner.
The top
Kardashians would be
in the world.
Have you watched Supermodels on Apple TV?
No.
I was obsessed. We just finished it last night. Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, and Christy Turlington.
Speaking of Linda Evangelista.
Also one of our stories.
Our next story.
No, not our next story. Because we have to finish Beyonce. We have to give some advice to Beyonce and Beyonce concert goers. This is really who the advice is for. Please understand, if you went to the Eras Tour movie...
That is not this.
That is not this. No. This is going to be very different. We're going to just kind of witness something. We're not going...
Witness is a great way to
That's how I think of it. I think we're going to Beyonce to witness something. We're going to Taylor Swift to experience something. Two very different experiences. Yeah. Totally equal in value. I think they're both great. But if you're going to Beyonce, we're not looking for a sing-along. We're not looking for you to be dancing.
You can sing quietly in your seat, but... We're not getting
But it's not like you're not putting on cloaks and bringing
glowing
balls
especially
and doing...
not where we are located.
That's true.
Maybe
in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Maybe in Houston, where she is from. That's where the
Yeah, but I just don't think that you're going to be seeing dance
songs.
companies.
You're not seeing full songs.
Go like the tween girl dance companies going to the front of the movie theater dancing to Beyonce like we saw for Taylor Swift. I think people will come in with little nods. It's not a concert
experience. It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary film.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it's a film. But go and have a really good time. We're going to vlog us being there.
My advice to Beyonce is nothing. You're amazing and perfect, and I love everything about you. What, am I going to give advice to Beyonce?
No. I wouldn't have let you. I was
you would be like, oh.
I'm sure the video will cut to my eyes. You're like, my advice for Beyonce, and my look at you, it's just like, oh Lord,
tread
please
lightly.
Be careful. All right. Someone who does need some advice, and I actually have some pretty strong feelings about this. Okay. TMZ reports Disneyland's It's a Small World guest immediately gets booted because the 26-year-old streaker was arrested for streaking during the It's a Small World ride.
He got out of his boat.
Yep, took his clothes off.
Dancing, twerking around. I don't think he was twerking. But.
No, he was on the ride, and the workers are saying, please get off. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. Here's my thoughts. Mm-hmm. One, definitely a small world, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying, as someone who is always zooming in, double clipping, getting that tap on, a definite small world. If you're going to make a spectacle of yourself, you should have a spectacle down there. I just think if we have to see it, I don't want to have to zoom in. I want to be like, whoa, all right, well, you should be naked all the time. This man should not be. So sad for him. Also, definitely small world.
I feel like if you're going to do it on a ride, it should have been Pirates.
I feel like if you're going to do it on a ride, it should be The Incredibles. Because it's like, yeah, this is incredible.
No, but it's a coaster. You can't. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, I forget that. I'm just thinking what name of the ride. This is the worst possible name. A small world to get attached to. A small world to then have your small frame and your small ding ding.
Yeah, but if you did Pirates of the... Okay, children, cover your ears.
Yeah.
If you did Pirates, it's the Pirates of the Carapinas.
Branding opportunity is that if that's not a movie being Disney, made in some sticky law in off Hollywood, that is so funny. Pirates of the Carapinas. Hang on, I'm just Googling to see if that's been made. Pirates
that is really going to affect your cookies.
The Carapinas.
Your cash and cookies are going to be.
Oh my gosh! Yep, starring. No, just kidding. Nope, they just corrected it to Pirates of the Caribbean, which is probably good.
That's so funny.
Here's the thing. Can we not take our clothes off in front of children? Like, just as a general thought.
No, that's really messed up.
The It's a Small World, after all, is absolutely geared toward children. I don't know. I understand this man was probably under the influence of something, narcotics or drugs or something.
He looks a little drugged out.
Or alcohol or something. But at the end of the day, just the idea also, I don't know if you can see this. This is
the way he's being carried out.
He's being carried out.
Disney police don't give up.
He's being drug out here. I hope that they can see this.
The Disney police are crazy. And I just say.
Which is good.
No, they should be. And we performed at Disney in high school on my drill team. And the guy backstage told us they have a camera in downtown Disney that can read the time on your watch. It's so good.
That's so good. Okay.
And I was like, oh, you guys are like... And then he also said there's a house in Anaheim that stores all of the footage. Like, they have a cloud storage. A house full of Disney information.
Which is good because I imagine there's a lot of lawsuits. Mm-hmm. And, we've actually reported on some of the lawsuits, like the girl who got the wedgie. On one of the rides. So I'm glad they have that because it's such an attraction. They have to have some sort of insurance, but still.
I just also.
And internally at Disney, they are all, it's a small worlding with that little teeny pecker. Mm-hmm. Someone has found that video and took a screenshot of it and is internally passing around for Disney
somebody
eyes
on the Disney
only.
College program is ha ha ha, sending it to their other friend.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, my advice, if you're going to Disney, I understand that is a treacherous vacation when you have 3 children. Like my friend Britt just came back from Disney and she's like, my child literally got dehydrated and fainted and I had a full panic attack. And I'm like, what can you do? It's just a crazy circumstance no matter what you try and prep and whatever for it. But know that when you're going to Disney, it is a magical experience for a lot of children. And to affect that in such a way where you're like, oh, I'm going on It's a Small World for the very first time and it's a very nostalgic ride and I'm taking my child on it, and then they have to see your small world.
Right.
You're really messing with everyone's experience.
Yeah, and
here.
Here's the thing. There's certain just places that we should really respect. Most of them for me have to do with either religion or children. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of people, those are the same thing at Disneyland. That is their religion, and it's
and
a lot of children. And so I just think people need to calm yourself and maybe keep your clothes on, unless you're at a sporting event. Why don't you do this at a Six Flags? It's expected at Lagoon. Mm-hmm. Unless you're at a sporting event.
I love a sporting event.
For streakers at a sporting event. That's the only place. They never show it, so you never really see it. It's just a little teeny
Also, they don't usually get fully naked.
Yeah, even if they do though, I'm like, man, that's to me much more harmless.
Also, they are sprinting, so you can't see anything.
That's what I'm saying, and they're not putting it on the big screen. This man,
also, they're just trying to get out of there. That man was sitting in that ride.
This man was just sitting in the ride, feet away from the people going through it. Not cool. And then to be dragged out naked. I will say, I do think the police could have just thrown a towel over the man's genitals before
Disney
parading
police
him.
Do not care.
But I'm just saying, before parading him in front of a bunch of kids.
Yeah, that's
like, if you were pulling him into something, put a towel on him. Just please don't show your penis to people unless they ask.
Well, here's the thing. I bet that picture was taken, like, 2 steps away from the ride into the back door. Because they have, like, back doors into, like, what they call backstage Disney everywhere that, like, you don't even know they exist. Are you a
Disney woman? You like a Disney girly? Like Disneyland girly?
I love Disneyland. I haven't been in years. I had a season pass 1 year when I had flight benefits with my cousin Becca.
R.I.P. flight benefits.
I know, that was the best. And we went probably like 4 times that year. I haven't been since there's been a bunch of changes though, so like I
went this summer with Lottie before we did Taylor Swift.
I just have problems.
Really fun.
I have problems with knowing too much information about non-relevant things.
Okay, wait. So there's backstage Disney.
Like, you know when characters all of a sudden come out of nowhere? It's because there's a backstage door.
Got it.
That like they just came out of, like, and sometimes it's obvious, and like literally a lot of the times it's just like, oh, what looks like a storefront is actually a backstage door.
Right.
And they just have like bracelets and things like cards to get
Got
them.
it.
So it was probably somebody got a picture 2 steps away
that
from
makes
the
sense.
ride.
They're not taking him down Main Street.
No.
They're not just
they
publicly.
Did not parade them.
Shame. Although I'm into that too. That's kind of fun. If we're going to do it, we should get to shame them. Okay, but Disney's also having a pretty bad week in the news because this from the New York Post reports that a Disney employee racked up $24,000 on the corporate card to fund his drug-fueled lifestyle. And do you think he was fired?
No.
Nah, dog, he was not fired. They report that a Disneyland employee who spent $24,000 on his corporate credit card to fund a lifestyle fueled by illegal drugs said the Mouse House gave him a second chance after he came clean about his irresponsible splurging. My addiction, as my addiction deepened, he says, my finances didn't reflect the near 6-figure salary I earned at Disney. Most of my money was spent on drugs and on helping out my immediate family.
Also, this is not a park worker, by the way. This is like somebody who works for corporate.
Correct.
But I will say, for park workers, there is no second chances.
Agreed.
They fire people left and right because they know people want to work for them. So
now, I want to be clear. He was not buying drugs with the money.
Okay.
So he says, basically, I use the credit card for my personal expenses like groceries and the dentist, for example, because this card supported my drug habit because it allowed me to use my personal income for my drug expenses. So he's like,
I don't understand that. Like, that's called embezzling.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how you are getting away with that besides, like...
Well, he was a white man.
No. A white man?
A white man? Ugh.
No.
The call's coming from inside the house.
And what did security do about it?
Nothing.
Typical.
Here's my general thought. Can we please fire people? Mm-hmm. Like, I just feel like the poor messaging here is like, he came clean, and so we're fine. $24,000. Now, I understand Disney's $1 billion company.
He's probably working it off, and then they're going to fire him.
I guess that's true, but they could just fire him and
then
get a
judgment against him. Although if he has a 6-figure salary, that's a couple of months.
Right.
Also, $24,000 to Disney is
nothing.
A drop in the bucket.
But it's a news story, and Disney should be like, actually, we're hard against drugs. Stealing a company credit card or using it for drugs ain't a good look.
Oh, that was an internal email.
Oh, that's probably
They don't
true.
even care.
I want to know.
It sounds like he made this a story. Like, he's commenting personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I think he'll get fired now.
I'm trying to see.
Because, like, Disney does not like when you talk about them as an employee. You rarely hear employees talking about Disney.
Oh, man.
What?
He's gay.
A white gay man.
White gay man. And I say that as one. I'm like, we're not the same. That's actually a big bone I have to pick, just totally tangentially. Also, sometimes I say tangentially, but we've just been on a penis trip today that I wanted to add that. We've been on a genital trip for sure. So tangentially.
I guess this is our explicit episode.
No, this is our lewd episode.
Okay,
And our explicit one has to have a lot more F-bombs for Jesus.
F-bombs
So
for Jesus.
we, but I hate that we treat heteronormatives as one, straight people as one, and then literally every other orientation or identity as like one. So it's like, I'm not just a G, I'm a part of the LGBTQAI plus family.
Yeah.
And it's like, we are not all the same. I have lesbian friends. We are very, very different. That's not the Venn diagram. Have you seen the Modern Family episode where they say Venn diagram, straight men, straight women, or no, straight men, gay men. We're both men.
Yep.
Overlap. Straight men, straight, or gay men, straight women. We both like men. Overlap. Gay men, lesbians.
Like,
there's no Venn diagram. We do no overlap.
No.
I just don't think we should be treating everybody in the LGBTQAI family the same.
Yeah.
I just want to be a part of the G's. Like, you can be a straight, I'll just be a gay. That's it. I'm not a gay who also is a part of the trans movement.
Not to make it serious, but like, I think that came more from when it was very much not okay to be an LGBTQIA. It came from more of like solidarity of, this is really hard for all of us. And that I really respect. I don't think that, like, I don't subscribe to, like, we have to be friends immediately because we're a part of this, or you have to just, like, agree with
identity
what I'm doing.
politics, for example.
Yeah, I just don't think, but I do think in respect to the history, I can say, like, you should have some semblance of empathy and understanding to anybody of the LGBTQIA, the alphabet mafia.
Literally.
Every time I say it, I'm like, alphabet.
Yeah.
Algebritica. So yeah, that's my take. I won't go into more.
Yeah. I won't either because I don't want to offend people, but that is just something that really grates on me. They're like, oh, do you know so-and-so? She's trans. How would I know her? We don't get a newsletter. There isn't like a giant club I'm a part of. I've never been to Pride. Like, just
But there is a lot of people who like are ostracized from their family, from their friends, because they are a part of the LGBTQIA. Yeah. And so I think it is very much a chosen family for those people who feel ostracized from other chosen families.
Yeah.
But
I just also don't think it has to be the only place in which they find family. And I just think it's a little us and them, and it perpetuates this narrative. And I want to be clear, I'm just a me. I'm not in an us or a them. I'm just a me.
Yeah, but you're
and
also,
I want to be treated just like a me.
You have a very supportive group of people around you. You have a lot, and you're lovely and wonderful. And you do a lot of work to like be inclusive yourself.
Yeah.
I just think that a lot of people are not fortunate enough to have that.
That's true.
Whereas where I say the LGBTQIA, oh my gosh, take a shot every time you hear that.
Yeah.
Is a chosen family for a lot of people who want an us because they don't have it anywhere else.
Truth. I will leave it there.
Okay.
I don't want to get too heavy into it.
Oh no, we're talking politics. We're a political podcast.
Oh no. Put us in a different chart. Okay. Linda Evangelista admits that she is, quote, not interested in dating, saying, quote, I don't want to hear somebody breathing.
Period.
Literally have never related to someone more. I hate hearing someone breathing. In fact, I have 1, 2, 3 fans going and my bed jet going in my bedroom so that I don't have to hear Steven.
Honestly, so relatable.
The idea of just like, imagine and this is also the woman who said that she wouldn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 when she was modeling in like the 90s. Like to me, I think is a queen. I did just finish the Supermodels documentary on Apple TV, the 4 parts. Super kind of sad for her with her cool sculpting, plastic surgery, botched jobs. And then she gets breast cancer and has a double mastectomy. Then it comes back. And so she was getting chemo during the documentary. Like, she's lived a life for sure. even if you hadn't lived a life, I just think it's so annoying if you're used to kind of just getting to do your own thing and you're eating and you don't have to worry about hearing anyone else eating, or you're just walking up the stairs, you don't have to hear someone breathing behind you. You're just laying in bed, you get to just dream, you don't have to worry about.
Also, like, it's just things that are so relatable in dating where you're like, oh my gosh, watch this show with me. And they watch and they're asking all these questions and you're like,
never mind.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a Real Housewives historian. I have put in years into understanding the dynamics of this group, and you're coming in and asking me if they're friends. I don't even know how to answer that question. You're coming in and asking which
one do I like.
It's like,
okay, well, here's
which season?
Buckle up.
Which friend group was she in?
Right.
Which best friend did she have at that time?
Which cross did she ever, like, whatever?
Was she on Ultimate Girls Trip that year? Like,
right. Was she cameoing in Southern Charm?
Like, I'm like, you can't just ask me which one's my favorite.
Right.
Or if those two people are friends. I don't know. That's the interesting part of watching this show.
But that's what I love. My general advice is, if you're not going to be dating, have a pretty dang good reason why, like this.
Like breathing.
And like this also just shuts it down. I'm confident this isn't really how, I'm confident there's parts of her that really feels, she's in the public eye. Obviously with supermodels, she's coming back into the public eye a little bit more.
I just love this short answer.
I just love when it's like, are you interested in dating? No, I hate the sound of someone breathing. Like, okay. It's an amazing way.
You have no response.
That's actually, if you're getting ready to go, that's my advice for this. If you're ready, now that we're going into the season, if you're going to be hanging out with family more, or people and they're like, oh, did you bring a date? Or are you dating someone? Find a really clever way like this to just shut it down, to be like, no, actually, I hate people. Or something, right? Like just shutting it down, and then because sometimes those questions are being asked generally or genuinely to know what the DT is. But other times they're kind of being asked to like put you down, like passive aggressively, like, oh, are you with any? You're just here by yourself? Or you're not dating anybody? No, aunt, no grandma. I'm doing the best I can. Well, maybe if you didn't cut your hair like that, maybe you put on
What's
some
other
lipstick.
Good excuses?
I don't know. Hearing someone breathing is kind of like where
I don't have time to explain.
I'm not interested in sharing
my favorite
my
TV shows to somebody else.
I don't want to share my closet with someone.
Yeah, I have a really small closet.
I hate watching someone
now.
brush their teeth. I poop with the door open, and I want to do that forever.
Yeah, just list your icks.
I have a relationship with a cat that I think should probably be between me and them.
No, because they'll judge you on that one. So
I don't care.
You need good ones to shut people down.
Yes. You need to just have a couple of ones that are completely locked in. You don't owe anybody anything to tell your story.
I'm taking a vow of silence and abstinence starting now.
Yeah.
And then walk away.
I'm only spending my time with people I care about. Mom, where are you? Gotta get away from grandma. Linda Evangelista. So sad. Honestly, so beautiful. You know who I think the most beautiful person I've ever seen in my life is, though?
Me?
Besides my mom and my daughter and my co-host. I would say is Christy Turlington.
Who's that?
She is like a supermodel. She was part of the Trinity. She's on the docuseries. I'm going to find a picture of her. She has aged
beautifully.
Oh my gosh. Stunning. Then after she kind of like took a step back from being a supermodel, she graduated from NYU in comparative religions and Eastern philosophy. Like,
is she the one who was on How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
I don't think so. Christy Turlington.
Show me a photo.
Hang on, I gotta try to find the right. Who would you say is your favorite supermodel of like the supermodel era? Not necessarily just today.
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, really?
No. I think Giselle is the prettiest. And like,
I'll give you that.
World renowned.
She's really, really, really pretty. There's Christy Turlington. Oops, nope, that is.
She kind of looks like Padma.
This is her like in her 50s.
She looks like Padma from Top Chef. Who do we think is going to be the new host?
I thought it was going to be Richard Blaze. Didn't I read that somewhere?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, Christy Turlington like starred in and basically started Calvin Klein's Eternity campaign.
Oh, okay. Well,
was her big kind of.
So she's like super casually famous?
Super casually famous.
Got
A-list. A-list. Okay. We have another A-list. Maybe not. Mark Cuban.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I don't think Mark Cuban is
would probably
A-list.
be B.
I think he's B.
Mark Cuban announces his plan to exit Shark Tank after season 16, saying it's time. The billionaire businessman first appeared on Shark Tank in season 2 as a guest and then joined it full time and the 3rd season. We are now in the 16th. So he's done 16
crazy.
Seasons, 17 if you consider, or no, sorry, he's done 13 seasons, 14 if you consider his guest appearance, and he's going to be retiring.
Do you think he's just tired of making so much money?
I don't actually know how much they make off of that show.
No.
I've had a couple of friends who've been on Shark Tank.
So
Susan was on, Rachel was on.
I don't think that
Tristan.
the people make that much money. I think Mark Cuban gets one, like, money from the deals he makes, and then he gets paid per episode.
Yeah.
And, like, contract.
But he makes so much money in his other business ventures. I just can't imagine that the Shark Tank really moves the needle. I think they're doing it for
casual
fame.
money.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. This makes me
It's his side
afford
hustle.
it's my side hustle. Okay,
Well,
but
I think
my
he's actually
question
making really good money off of his, like, I don't know what the website is called, but he sells drugs for like retail price or for wholesale price.
That's right. I forget what that company
remember
is
what
called.
it's
Someone's
called.
screaming at our thing,
Yeah,
saying what
like,
it is. I'm just
"It's
seeing if it's in the
this."
article. It's not.
No, he started a company in which he sells a lot of drugs that, like, you would have to pay a fortune for half the price or a quarter of the price.
Well, and here's what he said that I don't know if you read this far, but he says, my daughter's in college now. When they all were in high school, all their schedules aligned, and it was really easy to do the show, he explained. But now, family first always. So I wanted to try to make sure I spend as much time with my daughters as I can and my family as I can. So I have to put the show on hold. I have to tell you,
if something came out about Mark Cuban, it would rattle me.
Same. He seems like such a good...
he's a good man.
I do too. This only further illustrates that.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I got daughters in college. I can't just be on a rigorous show schedule. Like, I need more freedom.
He gives me Stake President energy.
He gives me dad in a Hallmark movie when the daughter's heartbroken and he's
Virgin
like,
River dad.
Sit on up here.
Actually, I've
and
never
pours
seen
a
Virgin
thing
River,
of chocolate milk, or he makes hot chocolate and goes, that's the thing about love. Sometimes hits you when you least expect it, sweetie. And he's like
adorable.
sage. He's in like a oversized robe, and like really loud flannel Christmas pajama pants and a white t-shirt.
He seems like a fun dad too.
Yeah. So I love anybody who is willing to put family first, whatever that looks like for you. I'm like, put families first.
Yeah.
And I love that from Mark Cuban. A really good reminder.
Yeah. Also, when everything was happening with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, he said, Taylor, you could date somebody on the Mavericks.
Yeah, totally.
You could. If you're not.
He just seems cool and
funny.
relatable. And I just love anybody that's willing to be like, hey, number one thing. That was also one thing I loved in the Supermodels documentary. It was how each of them talked about how important it was for them to be a mom. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this is such a beautiful, like, I didn't know Naomi Campbell was a mom.
I did not know that either.
She has a daughter. Linda Evangelista has a son. Christy Turlington has a daughter. And then obviously Cindy Crawford has a daughter and a son. And she was talking about Kaya becoming another model, an up and coming model.
Yeah.
And so she had said something like, oh yeah, when people say, oh, you're going to let your daughter do this. And she's like, if any of you have daughters, you do not let them do anything. They make a decision. Like, it was just so real.
Children,
it was just like relatable. And she's like, I would come home from something and my son, like an event, and my son would say, will mom wash her face and come play? And they were like, she was like, they didn't want the dolled up Cindy Crawford brand. They just wanted mom. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I love it so much. This one really is. We're going to call this episode, This One's for the Moms.
This one's for the moms.
Because we just love all the moms out there. But also,
I have to tell you, I was reading a book this weekend. And in the book, she like leaves a voicemail for her dad at 3 a.m. like being like, I miss you. She was across the country from him. And the next day, she showed up at home and her dad was on the doorstep and I sobbed. I was like, dads are the best. Like, I was like, that's what my dad would do. And I was like reading the book, like truly unwell. I text Gabby, who recommended it to me, like, I'm not okay. Like, why
if you
didn't you warn
recommend
me?
a book to somebody, you better be prepared. You have to, if you're recommending a book to someone,
it's gonna make me cry.
You're a support system. Like,
Yeah.
you have signed on to help the person you gave that book recommendation to get through the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna live text you.
Like, you're live texting you. How do you pronounce this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this. Blah, blah,
like
blah.
this scene.
I think, didn't you tell me to read Verity? Wasn't it you who told me to read
I haven't
Verity?
read any Colleen Hoover.
Oh, someone told me to read Verity, and I remember thinking, I need to be able to talk to that person about what I'm reading, because I think that is the responsibility of someone who
that's your
recommends a book, is
That's
you
your
got to
job.
be that. All right, our final person in the news who was making headlines is Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton secretly welcomed a second baby with her husband, and then revealed her daughter at Thanksgiving. Her daughter's name is London.
Which
London
we love.
We live.
London
I know a
Hilton.
London. I know a London. Brian Holt. I forget what her new name is.
Also
but
very
London.
reflective of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which was on Disney Channel, and I think you were too old for this.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, the heiress on the show, her name was London Tipton,
Got it. Okay.
in reference to Paris Hilton. And so it's really cute that she named her daughter London. Here is the other thing I'm going to say. I'm loving this trend of, surprise, there's a baby here.
Agreed.
I wanted to do that so bad. Now that I'm being filmed weekly, I don't know if I will ever be able to accomplish that anymore.
Right.
Instead, or unless like you guys are just like, well, she keeps getting bigger, but she hasn't mentioned anything yet.
And all of you are so nice
And I'm like
that
sitting
nobody
here
would
like
say
this.
anything.
And people are like, did she say she was pregnant?
It's in
Nope.
April, and she's just like fanning herself
Like,
nonstop.
I have a fully personal fan here. I'm like, ugh. Pregnant people,
So
they're the
anything new
worst,
with
am I
you?
right?
No.
Like, no.
Same old. Nothing's different from the past 6 months.
Yeah, but I love, like, I think also an interesting topic point is like surrogacy is becoming like a 1% type, like, what am I
Moniker?
looking for? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you have a lot of privilege.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing more privileged than having somebody else have your baby.
Just because, like, well,
And I don't
to
want
be fair,
I want to be
we
careful.
don't know if she has
We don't
any-
understand what the. I was just.
Yeah,
I
I was
just
like,
caught myself
okay.
wanting to be.
Wanted to
Literally,
be
child
silly, but
rearing
we-
and child birthing is so unbelievably private.
Yeah.
It's so individual. I that was too glib of me. I do apologize
agree.
if I offended.
Same.
Yeah, I don't mean that, but what I am saying is that there's nothing that seems more privileged
Yeah.
that seems from the outside who hasn't experienced it. And I have multiple friends that have used surrogates, and I have one friend that was a surrogate.
Amazing.
And she did that for a gay couple. So I love people that are willing to do that. You know, no shots
Yeah, more
fired.
power to you.
But it is such an indicator of just like a lot of money. Because
That I can just like drop a baby like I drop a new album, or
yes.
like drop my sweet potato souffle off at Thanksgiving. Except it's, hello, this is my new baby.
My new baby, and I'm gonna do it in London.
Yeah. And she just surprised them at Thanksgiving. Like, I wish I was capable of that. Like, I wish I could just walk into the studio one day and just be like, baby. Like, and just holding it. That would be crazy.
Like, that's very Modern Family episode 1, season 1, where they announced Lily and they
That is so funny.
turn it off, Cam. I can't. It's who I am. I mean the music, Cam. I would love to be able to do a surprise baby, but I am never going to have another kid. The thought of a newborn, like, I can't wait for you to have that. I will be the best uncle. I will come in. I will fill your freezer full. I will
You'll hold it and then you'll go, I want to leave.
and then I'll be like, this is so fun. The minute that baby starts crying or I feel
hand him
gas or
back.
anything, I'm like, whoop, bye. I'm just out of that phase. And I think it's okay. We could celebrate being cool with like being out of the young baby phase. And I just want to visit them at the baby zoo. I don't necessarily want my own baby animal. Like, I just want to,
Yeah,
that's
I
where
agree.
I'm kind of at.
I agree.
Don't think badly of me because
I don't think badly of
Okay,
you at
good.
all. I think even like as I have maybe only with my own nieces and nephews have been like, oh, let me hold them. Like when I see a random child, I'm not like, oh, so
which
cute,
is a
let me
good
hold
thing.
him.
It's weird when people are randomly like
kind of weird
super
when people are
interested in someone
randomly
else's
interested
baby
in
and you
other
don't
kids.
know them.
Yeah.
Freak alert. It's a small world.
Remember how we
after,
started
like,
this episode of me being like, I'm obsessed with Becca's child. She's so cute. To be fair, though, we're like practically sisters, so
that's true. But when
she's
we're
one
saying,
of my nieces and nephews.
Yeah, we're saying like we're obsessed with them. We're not talking about a random baby that you're just meeting at the grocery store and saying, "Can I hold her?" And you're like, "Are you insane?" And
Yeah,
then
no, I would
those
never.
those poor parents of the newborn who has to be like,
No.
she's colicky. You know, like you have to just like lie because
Yeah.
you're so uncomfortable because it really is. We treat moms poorly generally. That is the general theme of this episode.
Wait for when I'm pregnant and a random person tries to touch my stomach.
I know. You will slap the hell out of them.
I can't believe you just did that. Like if somebody goes to touch my stomach, that is the first thing that will come out of my mouth.
Unless it's me.
Yeah, you can touch my. Honestly, I don't even know how much I'll touch my own stomach because pregnant bellies kind of freak me out.
Well, it just makes you think of Alien when that baby rips
I'm like,
open.
there's an alien inside of you.
Yes.
I will tell
is
that
the
to any
sad-
pregnant friend to their face. I'll be like, they'll be like, oh, she's kicking. I'm like, she? You mean it? The alien? They're like, okay. I'm like, she's going to be cute when she's here.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew it's so different though. You know how people are like, oh, my animal's like my baby. You know, like, oh, it's like my child. And I'm like, no, it's not. You can't leave a baby in a cage. You can't put a baby in a kennel. That's a problem. But I know you feel differently about your animal. But when you end up having a baby and you're waking up at 3
literally
in the morning,
birthed him.
You did not, honey. He didn't come out of your...
He literally did.
What was the word you were saying before? Gorgina? He didn't come out of your gorgina. Okay? You didn't birth the dog. Your gorgina was not...
I literally
it's
did.
biologically impossible. But the only thing that is different, though, is that I do feel like complete permission if I see a puppy. To be like, oh my gosh, your puppy, can I hold your puppy?
Yeah.
I do that for animals, kittens, puppies, goldfish. But I don't do that. It's a joke about goldfish. But I would never do that about a baby. I feel like that's freaky.
No, babies
but
are...
little puppies.
Babies are fragile, too. I think whenever I hold a baby, like, it's not an intrusive thought, but I always am like, what if I drop this child?
And I always think, don't touch the top of their head
Yeah.
because the scalp is, or the bone is still forming. So I'm always like, ugh, just like squishy brain, be so careful.
Oh, and when they're, like, newly born and you can see the brain, like, rising in their head.
Ugh. And when my...
We love babies
when my,
here.
we are about the babies. We're
like,
like, forget the
babies,
babies.
ugh.
We just love the moms. When my sister had her twins and they were like a pound or 2 because they were so preemie and their skin was like translucent. So you could see the veins and the blood going through the body. I remember being like, it's so special.
cute.
And I was the first one to hold Ruby. And so I was just like, I love her. Can I put her down? I mean, it was really special, but they really are aliens when they come out. And you're just like, okay.
All babies within the first couple weeks look like Winston Churchill.
Agreed. You put a polka dot bow tie on that baby, and he may as well be talking the darkest hour.
And you give it like this face.
Yeah.
And you make it
put
point.
Do you have a monocle? Just put it straight on that baby.
You make it talk about World War II. Winston Churchill.
100%.
Put on a Winston Churchill speech and then do the thing with your baby where you just move their
We
mouth.
do the mouth.
I'm going to send you videos.
I was just going to say, I want
to.
someone to do that.
Yeah,
do that with
any of our
Becca's.
listeners have a child.
Anybody's new baby.
Becca's is a 2-year-old.
Okay,
She
so
doesn't look like
probably you have to wait
Winston
till she's
Churchill
asleep.
anymore. Oh my
If
God.
anybody has a newborn that we can do that with, or if you have
you're
a newborn, if you could do a newborn lip sync.
If you have self-awareness and you can tell us that your baby looks like Winston Churchill, which is fine, it does. All of them do.
No newborn
Please
baby is
film
beautiful.
him talking to a Winston Churchill speech.
Yes, and you know what I kind of would love though is I would love to see like a series. I bet it's on TikTok, but I would love a trend to be lip syncing, having your baby lip sync to like random things like songs or speeches or phrases.
I'm starting that when I have a baby.
I want you to do that all the time. I'll just give
you're
that
gonna
to
get
you.
the weirdest.
Last night when we were watching Squid Game, someone said surprise, and I said surprise, surprise,
Surprise,
surprise. And I
surprise.
said to Steven, my life is basically punctuated with TikTok sounds streaming in my head all the time.
It seems weird now, but I'm like, my life before was movie references. Like,
Yeah.
I just reference things. That's
Yeah.
a part of my life.
Agreed.
So it's not that weird. You're totally normal. Because if you're not normal,
Then we're both freaks.
then we're both freaks. And
we should have a podcast.
good idea.
Oh my gosh, let's do it. What should we call it?
Freaks.
We're all freaks.
Freaks and geeks.
Freaks
no, that's
and
a show.
geeks. Anything else you want to talk about before the episode wraps up?
My mom is also awesome.
I know. We love both our moms. I love Molly so much.
My mom did Thanksgiving in like a very tiny kitchen, smaller than this room. And she's also taking care of her parents who, like I said, can't find their left foot anymore. Not doing well. And so shout out to her too. Because this one is for the moms.
This one is for the moms.
moms.
We're singing two different songs, but we act like we're singing the same.
Sing it to the tune of
both
Candy Shop. This
We
one
sing
is
it's
for the
mommy
moms.
knees. This one is for the mothers. Moo, moo. Oh, mama. That's what it should be. This one is for the mothers. Mama. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Who have sons and daughters. Mama. I'm sorry. Am I? Is this TM? Yeah, lyricist. I have written a song. Everyone should listen to Love is Alive by Gentry. I helped write that song. So I'm a songwriter. All right, you guys. We love you. We will talk to you next week. Have a amazing week full of good and bad advice.
Make sure to give bad advice.
Yes, everybody as much as you can.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.